How do I do it all? The Brezza gives me the power.
3 losses in a row for the Sunrisers Hyderabad after the explosive start they made to the season against Rajasthan Royals. Can they return to winning ways as they host Gujarat Titans in Hyderabad? Let's find out on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricinfo Timeout with Mark Boucher and Wasim Jaffer here to help us set the game up. Thank you, gentlemen, for your time. It's a question that's been following the Sunrisers. What can they do with their batting approach? Do they need to temper it down?
Okay, Hyderabad, they've had a very good record there. And they know how to play in those conditions. So it needs to be a very sensitive conversation that I think that your batting coach and your coach will have towards their batters. I think, if you have a look at how the IPL is working, we've seen some good batsmanship around in certain conditions. But I would still look at the way that they would approach it is to go out there, say, listen, fresh conditions, we don't know how the wicket's going to play. Rely on the 2 openers to make a call on whether they feel it's a good deck. If they make that call, then you've got to back them as a coaching staff to go out there and play the way that they know has been very successful for them in Hyderabad. So I would still have those conversations. Sometimes you just got to lay a seed in these batters' heads. And I think that once you have those conversations, make them aware of and be a little bit critical about the way that they've gone about things and their failures. Without being too negative about it, I think that will put them in a better space to make better and smarter decisions while they're out there.
Put yourself in the spot of the batting coach. What are you telling Travis Head and Abhishek Sharma ahead of this game?
Well, I won't be telling them anything. I'll, in fact, tell them to be, themselves. But that's what's worked for them. They put fear into the opposition bowlers, so you don't want to tamper with that. They are very dangerous when they come off. Sunrise is very dangerous when the openers strike. So I won't be telling those 2 guys, but I'll probably be telling Nitish Reddy. He's somebody who I feel is looking a little, too rushed, I would say. He's playing too heavy risk. He's taking too heavy risk option early in the innings, even Abhinav Manohar for that matter. If those openers don't strike, then there's an opportunity for the number 3, number 4, Ishan Kishan is pretty new to their system, but he's got 100. He was unlucky in the second game. He's got caught down the leg side and then the slash went straight to the hands. So that can happen. But Nitish Reddy can take his time. He's very dangerous once he plays 10, 12, 15 balls. And so does Abhinav Manohar. He's very destructive. So I would probably tell them to take their time. And Hyderabad is a lovely surface to bat on. If you spend a bit of time, you can change the momentum in over or 2. So that's what probably I'll be telling them.
Just a bit on Abhishek, since you've seen him up and close. Would this string of low scores to start the season, given the new price tag that he comes with, have any bearing on his mindset?
No, I don't think so. Knowing him, he's a very free-flowing player. He doesn't think on those lines. And he knows what works for him. He's got runs for India. He's got runs last season. He's got out very cheaply. He's got out within 10 balls. So that can happen in this format. When you're playing such high-risk cricket, this can happen. But I think he'll brush it off and he'll continue to do so.
All right, so that's Sunrisers Hyderabad, who will, for starters, hope that they're not bowled out, which is what has happened to them in the last 2 contests they've played. Up against them, Gujarat Titans, who are now without Kagiso Rabada indefinitely. It is, of course, a huge loss. But the overseas mix that they went with, they only had 2 in the starting 11 and then had Rutherford coming in. Which way are you looking at them? We don't know about Gerald Coetzee's fitness yet.
Yeah, look, KG would be a big loss for them. He's got good experience, he's got a bit of pace, and he's bowling fairly well at the moment as well. So you don't know when he's going to come back. No one's quite sure what is happening back at home for him. But yeah, Gerald Coetzee would be one that would just slip into that mould. Gerald's also had his fair share of injuries over the time as well. Where he is at the moment, no one quite knows. I'm not too sure how much he's actually bowled. So yeah, they're going to have to find a way to replace that seamer. Who they go with, I'm not too sure.
As far as that overseas complement goes, we saw in the last game a bowling first 11, which had only 2, and you still didn't have room for Glenn Phillips. Is there a case to play a Glenn Phillips, especially if you're bowling first, ahead of a Shah Rukh Khan or Rahul Tewatia?
I mean, I can understand why they are not going with Glenn Phillips because he has got a certain role which is probably a finisher because anytime Glenn Phillips walks in, they're going to throw spin at him, and that's where we've seen him struggle. But they've got Tewatia who's done well. Shah Rukh Khan has been playing decently well. So I can understand. But as in when I feel there's an opportunity, I'm sure they're going to throw Glenn Phillips at some stage where they can get his couple of overs as well. He's an outstanding fielder and with pace, he can be destructive.
Yeah, with Glenn Phillips, you know exactly what you're going to get. You're going to get 120% committed cricketer. And he lifts the vibe up of a team as well with his fielding, just his general character. He goes out there and he plays for the team as a proper team man. So they won't go too wrong by getting him into the equation somehow.
Especially in this one with 3 left-handers at the top of the order.
Absolutely. I mean, the matchups are there. So, why wouldn't you think along those sort of lines? As I said, he's a hard-working cricketer as well. So he'll prepare himself properly for an opportunity.
The bowling attack, whichever way they do line up, faces quite the challenge. Sunrisers, while they've had a few low-scoring games, they are at home. They like scoring here. And not only are Gujarat without Rabada, they've also not seen the best of Rashid Khan yet.
Yeah, I mean, Rashid's form is a concern for them, but it's a twin-edged sword with Sunrisers batting. It can go, either 260, 270, or they can get out cheaply as well. So Gujarat will be hoping that way. They'll be hoping to put the ball in the spot and hope they pick wickets. But Gujarat has got a very strong team, whichever way they go. They've got good batters, good bowlers, but Rashid's form is a concern for them.
Yeah, right. Rashid off at your own peril. He's the type of guy that loves big games. This will be a big game for him. He'll know that against the Sunrisers, they're going to come after him, and he's never backed down to a challenge. And I don't expect him to back down to this as well. Sometimes, when people start looking at your form, you sort of look at yourself in the mirror the whole time. For me, he just needs to get into the game. Once he gets into the game, everything happens naturally. And I think, for him, a challenge like this might get the best out of him, knowing that they're going to come after him.
And you'd imagine if there's any game that riles him up, it is this one, as he goes up against a former team.
Absolutely.
And we've seen what he's done against the Sunrisers in recent years. Let's see what's in store. Thank you so much, Wasim, Mark, for your time. Sunrisers versus Gujarat Titans. Be sure to join us for the build-up just around toss time on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricinfo Timeout.
How do I do it all? The Brezza gives me the power.